Hi everyone. My name is Hamza and I'm your host today for Hafiz TV. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is well. And today we will be concluding our series for the month of March, which is Female Historical Figures in Islam and their contributions. Today's episode will be focused on Lubna of Cordoba, who was an Andalusian intellectual and mathematician. So, she was famous for her grammar and her writing of poetry during the 10th century. And she later became a secretary for the Caliph of Cordoba. So, Cordoba is current day. It's managed to maintain its name. It's one of the few cities that have managed to maintain its name over the past centuries. It's located in southern Spain, and it is an autonomous society. So they function on their own, with their own government, with everything of their own. And also, during the time, Cordoba was one united society. It had one caliphate, and it later disbanded in the year 1031 after a civil war went on. So let's go back to... So that's a little bit of the story of Cordoba and what it is today and what it was then. So let's go back to Lubna. Lubna, her origins, little is known about her origins or where she was born or where exactly she was born. What is known, however, is that she was a native of present-day Spain. She was a slave girl and later on was liberated at some point in her life. And she became a secretary, like I said, to the Caliph of Cordoba, who was Al-Hakim II. One of her responsibilities was drafting manuscripts and writing it, and also preserving it in the libraries, because preserving libraries were part of their duties, and it was an important part of our history today. It's how we are able to know our history today, and how we're able to now sit down and share these stories. So she was charged with preserving the manuscript and history inside of the library of Medina. The name of the library was Medina, and it contained over 500,000 books. And so she, along with other females, other women, wrote that, and they would translate it as well into text. During the time of Al-Hakim II, there were more than 170 women doing this work. They were translating, they were writing these texts, and this goes to tell us how women were involved in the preservation of history, especially in Islam. As to the library, she was involved in the creation. She had a huge hand in the creation of the library. She was responsible for making the library what it is today. Today, the library still exists, and it's inside the city of Cordoba, which is in Andalus, Spain. What else? So little is also known about her later on life as to when she died, because historical figures, rarely do we hear about these people. And so not much is written down except for what we do know right now and what historians have managed to uncover through letters and texts and poetry and manuscripts. At the end of the day, so this was a woman who dedicated her life to preserving history. So I wanted to go into I wanted to delve a little bit into why I started this series and why I decided to start talking about this. So before March started, I was sitting down and I was thinking of what to do for the month of March, because normally in March it's Women's History Month, and we see so many stories about women who have contributed to history, who have invented things, who have done so much for society, and we rarely hear about Muslim women who have contributed to history. And when we do, it is normally the wives of prophets. It is the wives of Sahaba, and also queens in ancient history. But we don't hear about the people who were behind the scenes and also working and dedicating their lives to Islam. And so I decided that it would be important for us, especially the young girls in our community, to know their history, to know that there were women who dedicated their lives despite the notion that there was oppression going on during that time. That women were liberated. Islam did liberate women, and Muslim women were empowered, and they were able to do what they could to help boost Islam. So I think it's, like I said, it's important for young women to know that Muslim women have been strong and empowered since the very beginning, and no one can say otherwise, because we have the stories and we have the history and we do have everything else to prove it. And I'm hoping in turn my series, someone comes across it and it helps them increase their knowledge or helps prompt them to go do their own research. And I'm so happy to have done this and to have sat here and done this series. And I'm happy that you guys were able to join me and watch it and also engage in this discussion with me. It is so important for us as a community to keep going forward and to keep improving upon ourselves and to keep improving upon our youth. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope to see you next time, inshallah, when I do start a new series. Thank you so much for to Hafiz TV as well for giving me this opportunity, and Larry of Hafiz TV for approaching me with this. I could not have been more grateful. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching. And once again, I'm your host, Hamza, and Assalamu alaikum.
HAFIZ TV, unique every day.